project?
Well, on sort of first inspection, it seems like quite a light love story, but it's actually has a, it's about a very precise moment in the history of the ending of the slave trade. It's one of the cogs in the wheel of it coming to an end, and it hangs really on a legal technicality, but the soul of humanity is hanging in the balance. And is all seen through the eyes of a girl who is of mixed race, but grown up, has been brought up in the white world, as it were. And as she grows up, she begins to realize, not having any idea of what equality means or human rights or anything, that something about her situation is profoundly, profoundly wrong. And she has to learn herself what it is. And it's a very unique perspective, really, because we have such informed hindsight about what it was. But it's interesting.
And then for those who aren't here in Toronto and lucky enough to be screening it this afternoon, tell us a little bit about your character.
I play her stepmother, who is probably a good person and a good woman, but has the view of the moral majority that when she first sets eyes on this child, she says, but she's black. How can I possibly, it's out of the question that I could raise her. And yet somehow, instinctively, they as parents go, hang on a second, no, we'll do this. And they try and raise her in a respectful way as acceptable. And then she, at the moment of truth, when her husband has to make this legal judgment, which is going to help turn the tide, she sort of steps up and says, come on, you've got to do the right thing.
It sounds like she goes through a complete sort of evolution of her own in this film.
I think it's an awakening, yeah.
And lastly, besides the challenges of sort of, getting in corsets, are there any challenges in filming a period piece?
The corset thing is really a challenge. It is. But I think also there's a sense of bearing and etiquette and articulation and all sorts of things that we don't do now, that you have to have effortlessly there. I found that quite hard, actually, sometimes, playing very high status without feeling, I'm not so used to that, actually. I'm more used to being scrubbers and underdogs.